Well, hello and good day to all of you Pauper perverts out there. Yeah, I got something real freaky for you I bet you'll like. But before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please DM me a picture of your unsleeved deck if you're feeling extra spicy. Anyway, onto the video. Today we're going to be playing Ephemerate Dredge, 5-color Ephemerate Dredge. We're still on the Lotleth Giant, reanimate Lotleth Giant with Dread Return plan, hit opponent for a bunch of life. But instead of running the Exhume package and running a more swamp-based deck, we're going more into the 5-color Bonanza, and we're running 5 blink effects here. We've got 3 Ephemerates, 2 momentary blinks, which notably has flashback. And we got some deep analysis in here too for some extra spice for some of the grindier matchups. Got lots of millers, 30 creatures in the deck. We got generous Ents to find some of our lands. Notably, we are playing some Thriving Moors to help us be flexible with our colors, and that's also going to help us cast our Dread Returns a little more often on average. I think I've also gone up a land compared to some versions of the list because I was struggling with only the 4 Ents when I was testing. But yeah, this should be a fun one. Obviously, Ephemerate and Momentary Blink allow you to reanimate maybe a Lotleth Giant for smaller, but then blink it a couple of times to finish off the opponent rather than, one big Lotleth Giant. So maybe we can steal some early wins. In the sideboard here, we've got some standard stuff. We've got Ancient Grudge for Artifact Hate. We've got Knot to the Bone for some of the aggro matchups. Moment's Peace is also good sometimes against different types of aggro matchups like Initiative and Infect. I tested against an Infect deck the other day. Moment's Peace was pretty good. Mesmeric Fiend is just all around good for picking apart, a combo or getting rid of some key spell in our opponent's hand. And notably, Mesmeric Fiend is a creature, obviously, so it can be grabbed with a Malevolent Rumble. It can also be Dread returned in a pinch. And then we're trying out something weird here with Gilded Light. I've seen this going around some of the Dredge discussions. Can't tell if it's good or not because you got to hold up 2 mana, but it will protect you against Nile Spellbomb activation, Bajuka Bog, Thraben Charm, a few things like that. So we're going to try it out. Thanks for joining me today, and let's get to it. Alrighty, I'm feeling good today. It's a beautiful day, playing Friday Night Magic with all of my buddies. That's you. So thanks for joining me. Immediately mulligan. We could keep this if we had an Ent, but we want to see a way to get 2 lands. This is good. We will keep this. We got a lot of milling. We got a Lotleth Giant in hand already. We might end up putting the Lotleth Giant back and just being on the mill plan. In any case, we're keeping that. Do we put the Lotleth Giant back? We have a lot of ways to shuffle our deck, and not as many ways to discard in this version of the deck, or Scrapwork Mutt helps us do that. Looks like we're against Elves, so this is going to be a tricky matchup. Oh, there's Scrapwork Mutt. Okay. That's okay. We're going to just keep doing our thing. Elves. Elves is going to be tricky for sure. They kind of go wide, and we don't have much to deal with that. They have Well-Wisher, which gains them a ton of life. So we got to hope for maybe a fast clock here. There's the Generous Ent. We're going to Wayfinder and try to find a land. Yep. Let's get our graveyard ready. Survivor's Encampment. Pass the turn. Yeah, so we've got these cool lands. Holdout Settlement, Survivor's Encampment do the exact same thing, except they're on different planes in the lore. And yeah, as long as we have a creature out here, we can make 5 colors. It's very useful. Opponent is... This is not the fastest elf start, I will say. Well, okay, they're not done yet. Let's... Yeah, they find Winding Way. Okay, so they're going to refill their hand. They chose creatures, so they get an Elvish Vanguard, 2 Elvish Vanguards. They got all 4 of their Elvish Vanguards, and Birchlore Rangers. Okay. Jeez, okay, these are gonna be huge. We gotta win really fast. I don't know if we can win this fast. We're gonna have to do some chump blocking at some point. Less than ideal for sure. This turn we want a Malevolent Rumble plus something. So let's see what we rumble. Get ready to rumble. We find a Blink and we have a Dread Return in the graveyard, so that's cool. So we'll get another creature down. Maybe we just want to keep hitting our land drops, since we have so many Millers already. Not sure. Survivor's Encampment. We're gonna cast the Wayfinder. That's always cast your Wayfinders first. It digs the deepest. Nice little thing here. You can... Whoa. Some loud motors out there. Sorry about that. Okay, we found our Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, so don't forget you can tap the Eldrazi token for the colored mana and then sacrifice it. We're just gonna have to pass here. We will start dredging our Stinkweed Imps. If we can find a Lotleth Giant, we're not far from winning because we've got the Blink, so Lotleth Giant on 10 and blink it, but I still think we're a couple turns shy of making that happen. And of course we need to find a Lotleth Giant. If we had kept that Lotleth Giant in hand, in hindsight, that would have been good. If we need a chump block with one thing, we can, because we can play 2 creatures next turn. Stinkweed Imp might be worth considering playing for the Death Touch. Query on Rangers. I better yield to all that mumbo jumbo. Yeah, opponent also found their Timberwatch Elf, so we're probably dead. Probably dead next turn, because they can just attack with everything, and then whichever one we don't block, they can Timberwatch and pump it for a million billion. So we'll see if we can find a way out of this. Opponent's having a big think. Elvish Mystic. While they do their elf thing, I've got a helper, Midna. Say hi, Midna. Doesn't look all too happy that I picked her up. Opponent is making a million green mana. Surely they can dump whatever's in their hand if they want to, and then some. What do you think about all this, Midna? Kinda... This is a load of barnacles. They have... I know, exactly, another Elvish Vanguard. That's crazy. 16 green mana. Midna, have you ever seen that much green mana? Okay, she's done with me. Opponent, crazy Nyxborn Hydra. Is that what's going on? Yeah. Okay, so we just die. Okay. Game over. That was no good. We were about 2 turns shy. Maybe it's a moment's peace situation because they have so many cards. I feel like Mesmeric Fiend. I'm not sure about. Maybe Mesmeric Fiend. Moment's Peace. They can do so much damage. Maybe Moment's Peace blanks more damage than Not to the Bone ever could. Because we gotta set up fast for Not to the Bone to be useful. We're gonna go down some deep analysis. We probably will be siding out Ephemerates quite often because they are instants and sorceries, and we need to keep our creature count high. Yeah, my main question is, do we want any of the Mesmeric Fiends for choice spells? It's still hard to sideboard with this deck. I'm not the most experienced sideboard-wise. I guess we could always go down a land if we need to in some of these situations. Let's try something like that. We'll see how Mesmeric Fiend feels against Elves. I'm not sure they would have Grave Hate. It's possible, but they might just be running like Well-Wisher to gain a bunch of life. We got to keep this. We got lands, we got millers. Ideally, you want at least 2 sources and 2 millers. In this case, we've got a little bit much with the double Ents, but that's okay. We'll see. Findhorn Elves. Opponent should be playing Llanowar for maximum vibes. Okay, turn 2, Satyr Wayfinder. Let's keep finding lands, hopefully. There we go. We got a Moment's Peace in the graveyard, so that's cool. That might help us. Moment's Peace. We also got a Momentary Blink. We are rapidly approaching being able to Dread return an Ent, maybe. Opponent has an Ent. Those copycats. That's my card. Okay, opponent. Not the most explosive start. Of course, that's what I said last game, and I was already dead. Okay, so looks like we can Blanchwood Prowler. We want to find a holdout settlement or something like that. Survivor's Encampment. Something that can produce black. Here we go. There's Survivor's Encampment. So now we can pass the turn. I'm going to attack. I don't think our opponent wants to block. So just that 1 point of damage might make the difference. And we are going to cycle an Ent at the end step. The opponent leads the Stampede. They get 4 creatures off of it. Nice. That sounds quite ideal. 2 Quirion Rangers is tough. And then some Mana Dorks. Don't forget, you can also momentary blink your millers in a pinch to get through your deck faster. We're going to have to start watching out for... We're going to have to start holding up Moment's Peace soon, aren't we? They can make... They don't have the add mana for every elf you own, so I think that's the real big risk. Once they have that, they can get the Nyxborn Hydra going. We will Dredge. We find a Stinkweed Imp and a Lotleth Giant. Very cool. We're going to play our Survivor's Encampment. So do we play some... Do we play a Miller? Not really. We could Scrapwork Mutt plus Miller and fill our graveyard. That would possibly find us a Dread Return in the graveyard, or we could Scrapwork Mutt, discard the Dread Return, Dredge the Stinkweed Imp, and then get the Lotleth Giant going, and then Momentary Blink is online. I think we'll do that. So we're gonna do this first. Let me make sure. Got to do some extra thinking with these lands. I'm very prone to messing up with them. We will tap. We're gonna need to use this for red for our Scrapwork Mutt. Mill 4 cards. Yes. We find another Dread Return. And another Moment's Peace. Okay, so as long as opponent can't kill us this next turn, we're in good shape. We're still going to Scrapwork Mutt. Now, instead of discarding the Dread Return, we're going to discard the Stinkweed Imp and dredge it back. Discard, dredge. Okay, we got 11 creature cards in the grave. Do we want to offer a trade? I think so. The risk is we're going to sacrifice 3 creatures, but we want to make sure we have... I don't think our opponent wants to trade anyway. We want to make sure we have a creature for the colored mana for Momentary Blink. We're going to Dread Return Lotleth Giant, sack. This will give us a land. Thank you, Land Druid. We're so close. We're only a couple damage short, unfortunately. Was there another way to fill our graveyard a little more? Not that I can see. Not for 0 mana. Oh my god, they're running Fairy Macabre. Okay. Well, I didn't know Elves ran that. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Okay. Well, now we're in trouble. Let's hope opponent can't win. If we survive, there's a chance, because we're gonna get another couple of mills. Opponent leads the Stampede with... They get a Priest of Titania, Timberwatch Elf. Yeah, so I don't think we're dead this turn, but we're definitely dead next turn. They can pump something for 1 million. So what's our best bet? We need to find another Lotleth Giant. If we find another Lotleth Giant and some creatures, that would be great. I guess we can Moment's Peace and stall out if we need to. Wow, Fairy Macabre, that was pretty crazy. There's not much we can do about that. We don't have anything in our sideboard that can avoid that, so we just need to dodge that. Yes, we will dredge. We find, unfortunately, not exactly what we're looking for here. So I think it's going to be a Moment's Peace turn. Yeah, we're going to have to... I really wish we had a Miller in hand. All we can do is Moment's Peace We can hold up Moment's Peace and then Momentary Blink the Blanchwood Prowler if need be. But we don't have enough mana to do anything else. Guess I should have played a tap land. I guess we gotta just stall and wait for the Stinkweed Imp. If they have another Fairy Macabre, we're kind of screwed. They could force our hand on the Moment's Peace. They don't. Okay. So Moment's Peace will save us, in theory. Opponent stampeding again. They find Salt Road Pack Beast, spicy. Timberwatch Elves, Quirion Ranger. Yeah. They got it all. Yeah, we really should have played the Thriving more, because then next turn we could Stinkweed Imp plus. I guess we can. I don't think we have any more forests in our deck for Generous Ent. Yeah, this is. Oh, I think we have one more. Do we? Yeah, we have one more forest. I think there's 4 forests in the deck because I just went up that extra forest. So maybe we cycle the Ent, get an untapped land. So we have that option. Okay, so Moment's Peace is pretty good here. Would Gnaw to the Bone have been better? I'm not sure. Gnaw to the Bone would be 30 life, but opponent can pretty soon, like, can't even see what they're doing. They can give, yeah, they can give something plus a million. So I think Moment's Peace is much better than Gnaw to the Bone here. Opponent's going crazy. They have Mana Madness. Here comes the Nyxborn Bestowal. Very cool. Very cool. Nice. Moment's Peace. Okay. That bought us a turn. We gotta find, if we find Lotleth Giant, we win as long as we have an extra creature in there. We will have an extra creature, actually. Okay. Just gotta find Lotleth Giant with our Stinkweed Imp Mill. Salt Road Pack Beast. Opponents, a lot of creatures, a lot of cards in hand, so. And they've still got mana if they want. I'm not sure what they could have. Let's see if we have that extra forest in our deck. Okay, we do. Nice. Untapped land is helpful. We will dredge. We do not find what we wanted to find. So what does that mean? We have to Moment's Peace again. But there's no way to mill. If we play a Stinkweed Imp, because of the Moment's Peace, the Stinkweed Imp won't die. We could just play a tap land so that next turn we can potentially find a miller plus. Yeah, I think we don't want to play Stinkweed Imp. I think we just gotta stall, and then next turn we can blink. Blink plus Imp and flash back a Dread Return if need be. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, the fact that we didn't find a miller there, and we can't get this in our graveyard. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. All right. We're going to play that on red in case we find that scrapwork mutt somehow. But yeah, we just got a moment's peace. Unless I'm missing something. Blink is so expensive. We will draw something next turn, so that could be interesting. We could just play a Lotleth Giant from hand if that's what we draw. There should be three... There should be 3 more in the deck. No, yeah, 2 more in the deck. It's possible opponent is just slow rolling another Fairy Macabre in case we actually get our combo together. That would be nightmarish. Okay. Opponent. Yeah, why bother casting anything else? Mesmeric Fiend is not what we want to see. So what are we doing? We're Dread returning. We got to Dread return a Miller. We have to find Lotleth Giant, and then we have to cast something else. Black, black, 1, 2. Dread return targeting Wayfinder, I believe. Do they have another Fairy Macabre? They've drawn a lot of cards, but they have not gotten it off of any of their Lead the Stampedes. Uh-oh. We did not find... We did not find it. So are we just dead? Or nor my portfolio. Oh gosh. Am I missing something? I could Mesmeric Fiend. And then Flashback Dread return. For what? Gosh. Yeah, I think we're just dead, huh? I think we're just dead. Let's see what they got. Yeah, we really needed, even a Scrapwork Mutt would have been great there. Yeah, they don't have any way to, they wouldn't have had any way to stop it. Oh, so sad. I guess we could mill over another Dread return. No, I mean, we can't cast it, right? Well, let's just do this to make ourselves sad. Yeah, you can have your Priest of Titan, you can have your Timberwatch Elf back. I didn't want it anyway. There's Lotleth Giant. But we can't get it. Darn. Alright, we lose. Okay. Well, that's a bummer, but I liked Moment's Peace there. Usually that matchup's pretty bad, but in testing out Moment's Peace in this version of the deck, I think it gives us a chance. That Fairy Macabre really blew us out, but yeah, that was cool tech by the opponent, so we're gonna keep the party moving here. But cool first match. Okay, round 2 on the play. Very nice. This hand it's a little too many lands. I'm gonna try to mulligan and find something better. Okay, we'll keep this. We will keep this. Sucks that we've got 2 land druids that won't find us any more lands right away, but we've got 3 sources here. Question is, keep? Do I tap land for black green? We gotta put something back. Put back Lotleth Giant because our deck will shuffle. So do I get this down for black-green and turn to this, or do I play Holdout Settlement, Forest Cycle, and then use this for something else, but it'll be a little slower? I think I like that, because then we can use this to get red or white depending on what we draw. Let's see what we're up against. Viashino Peruano. Okay, ooh, is this some kind of like Jeskai or Mardu? Smells like Thraben Charm and Bajuka Bogs to me. What is that smell? That smelly smell. Okay, lots of Thriving Moors. Okay, so no problems on lands. We just gotta mill some good stuff. If we mill over a Scrapwork Mutt, that would be awesome. We can start yo-yoing this Stinkweed Imp. You know, it's very polite that Circle of the Land Druid asks if we want to mill cards. Satyr Wayfinder does not respect consent. Satyr Wayfinder's just like, give me that. Give me that. Circle of the Land Druid's like, do you want me to mill? Or no? No? Okay. Oh, you do. Okay. Whoa, okay. Opponent smarty pants on the getting rid of my creature, thinking they are going to cut us off of something. I don't think that really hurts us too badly right now. Yeah, Satyr Wayfinder's a good draw. Opponent gets their garrison on. Let's see if we can find another land. Okay, we find a green source. Ooh, Momentary Blink. Okay. Oh, we have Dread Return, Lotleth Giant, Momentary Blink. Okay, okay. So let's... so our goal is to get a couple more creatures down, which it's going to take a couple turns. Let's put this on red. And this one can be on blue eventually. Opponent is likely to have more burn spells if they want to keep zapping us. And yeah, that Galvanic Blast on our creature was pretty good. Not because of the Holdout Settlement, but because of the Dread Return. Opponent will be experimentally synthesizing. They find a Lembas, which they can cast. Lembas sounds like an instrument to me. Doesn't sound like a biscuit, but what do I know about Lord of the Rings? Okay. So let's play Circle the Land Druid before we use any lands here, because if we hit the Scrapwork Mutt off of the Circle the Land Druid, we can Dread Return right now. Otherwise, we want to play tap land. Because we have red already here, I'm fine using our Holdout Settlement as a colorless. Yes, I would like to mill. Ah, we don't find it. Okay. It's fine. I've got everything under control, folks. We're going to put this one on blue for the Momentary Blink flashback. And we're going to attack for 1 because it's about sending a message. Getting our opponent down to the very threatening low life of 20. Yeah, Lotleth Giant still has a lot of work to do here. Oh, Scrapwork Mutt would have been so good. Opponent's going to start Glint Hawking. They're going to return their Synthesizer, I assume. Yep. What do they find? They find Core Skyfisher. Okay. They're doing the old Boros thing. Synthesizer again. Lembas again. This is just like a 3D printer, isn't it? An experimental one at that. Opponent, scries to the top. Scary. Scrapwork Mutt, excellent. Excellent, excellent draw. Very cool. Okay, so we will Scrapwork Mutt. I wish we could, if we had an Ephemerate in hand, we might be able to win right here with the Scrapwork Mutt, Dredge Stinkweed Imp, and then bounce Lotleth Giant, but unfortunately that is not the case. But I guess we will, yeah, I guess we'll play a land. We'll play Scrapwork Mutt. I don't think we need the holdout settlement. What could we mill over? I don't think we need that. Dredge, draw. We find even more stuff here. Yeah, so I guess we're just gonna, there's no sense in attacking. Opponent will block. Just gonna do this now. And we're one land shy of blinking right now. Unfortunate that we can't do that. Do we cast this imp? I guess so, because we're going to dredge back the other one. This gives us a little more leeway if we need to do a second dread return on this Lotleth Giant. Okay, I think we're in a good position. We'll see what the opponent has. Do they have any main deck Thraben Charms? We've still got a beefy attacker for them to deal with. They could double Galvanic Blast. Okay, yeah, they could Journey to Nowhere. Sure, sure. Spoke that one into existence, didn't I? I think we're fine taking two. See what opponent wants to do, okay? There's Relic of Progenitus, okay. Things just got a little tricky, yeah. Ugh. These decks that, all these decks run main deck Grave Hate now. It's kind of a bummer. But I'm glad we saved our Stinkweed Imp. Although we've got nothing going on to our opponent's 6 cards, so that's quite a bummer. Deep Analysis coming through. Deep Analysis not bad right now. We've lost 1 Dread Return, 2 Lotleth Giants. So we've still got what we need in the deck. Blue. We will draw 2 cards. Lands! I'm glad I put in that extra... That extra land. Do we flash this back now, or do we want to... Yeah, I think we just flash it back. We gotta keep up with our opponent's card advantage. Holdout Settlement coming through. It's gonna cost us some life. Okay. Okay. We're ready to refill. But we are tapped out, and our opponent's value machine is whirring away. Seeker of the Way, Lifelink. Yeah, this is a bad matchup. They've got Journeys, they got main deck Grave Hate, they've got Lifelinkers. Real bummer to deal with. But there was a window there, you could see. There was a window there where we could have won if we had 1 or 2 cards in a different combination. It's not over yet, but this Lifelinker is a big threat. So what's our best bet? Milling over some crazy stuff. And I mean, if we find both a Lotleth Giant and a Dread Return and some creatures, it's possible we could pop off this turn. Let's Rumble. Let's take Wayfarer. I've chosen the Wayfarer over the Prowler. Circle the Land Druid goes deeper, so maybe we just want that. We don't really care about the lands. Yes, I would like to mill 4 cards. Okay, we find Dread Return. Only 2 creature cards in the graveyard. It would be great to save this Scrapwork Mutt for when the Stinkweed Imp dies. Maybe we could block here. But then opponent's going to gain a bunch of life, presumably. We left ourselves with no green mana, so we probably got to play this. Yeah, we won't deep analysis just yet. There's still a chance we can find... Well, we could deep analysis like this. There's the giant, okay. Okay, interesting. 3 creature cards. If we can dodge Grave Hate, maybe we can do something next turn. I'm a little scared of how much life they're about to gain off of the Seeker. Stinkweed Imp will hopefully keep us alive here. They might have a Galvanic Blast, we gotta watch out for that. Synthesizer, yep. Synthesizer finds Lorehold Campus. What the heck is that? Scryland. Red-white Scryland. Okay. Glint Hawk. Very cool. Guess we can just F6, huh? Lembas coming back. Oh no, Synthesizer coming back. Plains. Is that their land drop for the turn? Or did they already play a land? Who knows at this rate? Yeah, opponent 4/4 is not the worst, but it's not the best for us. We've only got 13 cards in our deck left. Yep, there's the lightning bolt. Okay. Opponent's gonna gain a bunch of life. Are there even enough creature cards in our deck left? Do they just... Okay. We have a chance, though. Let's see. Okay. 6 creature cards. So we can... One of the cards in our deck is still a Lotleth Giant. So milling over a Lotleth Giant would be great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. We're short Scrapwork Mutt plus Lotleth Giant. I guess we can momentary blink a Lotleth Giant. Let me think. We Scrapwork Mutt. 1, 2, 3, 4. We should be able to double Scrapwork Mutt, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I just gotta not screw up my colors. Scrapwork Mutt, and then we have enough for momentary blink. Yeah, I think that's the move, huh? Red, green. Scrapwork Mutt's coming back. We dredge. We don't find the other Lotleth Giant, so we have to cast this one. Like this. We have to discard Lotleth Giant. We can't dredge again because we've only got 3 cards in the library. Discard Lotleth Giant. Dread Return on Lotleth Giant. Let's get all the actual creatures in the graveyard because this one will get exiled. Circle the Land Druids like, hey, excuse me, would you like a land on top of that? Thanks for asking. $11 creature cards. Momentary blink. No blowouts, please, no blowouts. No blowouts. Okay, is this the blink victory? Yeah. Ooh, that was close. Okay. We fought through a main deck Relic of Progenitus. Now this is tricky because Gilded Light does not help us against Relic. Deep Analysis was good there. Deep Analysis was quite helpful to get out of that hole. Gilded Light helps against the Raven Charm if that's what they end up bringing in, but it does not help us against Relic of Progenitus. Mesmeric Fiend is just going to get zapped, I think. Ancient Grudge is just okay against... So are we fighting against the Raven Charm here? Maybe. and just hoping to fight through the relic. In that case, do we care about Moment's Peace or anything? Opponent needs to like run us out of options before they can really attack, right? Blink was good there. Yeah. We're going to try it like that. I don't know. Maybe, I'm not sure if Not to the Bone or something is good in this matchup. In that game, they were just... I guess Moment's Peace is okay against the Seeker of the Way. To prevent their lifelink. Is it worth running one of those? Not sure. Do I go down a land? Let's try it like that. I don't know. Oh, something in my eye. Okay, well that was an exciting game. That was very exciting. We're up a game in this match. Very promising. We gotta play a little faster though, because I can get the feeling this is gonna be a long one. Kind of grindy. Synthesizer, synthesizer, synthesizer. Opponent 3D printing Lembus. Midna is fast asleep over here, conked out to the soothing sounds of my voice playing MTG. This hand, it's weird. This hand is weird. Do we keep it? Scrapwork Mutt Stinkweed is nice, but other than that, we got to draw some stuff, but I don't really want to throw it away. We've got 3 lands. We've got a deep analysis. Not sure on this one. We could mulligan way worse. We really need some millers. I'm gonna try to mulligan. Okay, this is way better. Good thing we did that. Deep analysis can go, since we don't want to be casting that from hand, at least not anytime soon. Yeah, this is way better. We can go tap land. The tricky thing about this deck is knowing what to put your Thriving Moors on. I guess my rule of thumb is, well, right in the middle of saying that. Usually I put it on red first if I don't know, because I'm likely to encounter Scrapwork Mutt. Because we found the Gilded Light, I'm going to put it on white. Usually I put it on red if I know nothing else, but if I have any of my blink effects or any white cards in hand, I'll let that inform my decision. Okay, Wayfinder, and hopefully our Wayfinders and Wayfarers can find 5-color land. Opponent. What's happening in this deck flavor-wise? We've got a bunch of like weird forest dudes running through the forest. Where did we put that Lotleth giant? I swear we buried him somewhere. Bunch of like weird cultists trying to perform a ritual, but they can't for the life of them remember where they put that Lotleth giant. Okay. We got the whole shebang right there, huh? We might have Gilded Light backup. We'll see. We'll see if opponent did nothing, huh? Kind of surprising they did nothing on 2 mana. Are they just holding a Thraben Charm? There's a Seeker. Bummer for us. This turn we can Rumble plus another Miller. We can't get to 3 creatures for the Dread Return Lotleth Giant, so that's going to have to wait till next turn. But next turn, in theory, we could have Dread Return plus Gilded Light backup. So that could be a shocker for the opponent if they're holding on to a Thraben Charm. Let's rumble. Okay, we find our blinks. Okay, so we want to get this Lotless Giant out ASAP. We're gonna go green. I don't like that our opponent's gonna be gaining a bunch of life in a second here. Do we want to just dig deeper in our deck? Maybe. We don't really need to find more lands. I just want to go deep. Opponent might have a burn spell as well to shoot down one of our creatures. That'll be a potential issue. Stinkweed Imp in the graveyard. Okay. Let's hope to dodge some grave hate. I don't know. Synthesizer. Opponent's gonna be gaining a lot of life, so maybe they're just on the lifelink plan. Maybe they'll not worry about grave hate. They find another synthesizer. Synthesizerception. Yep, opponent is 3D printing like crazy. Oh, they find a relic. Boo. Boo. Yep, Gilded Light does not help against relic. However, they don't have land to cast it, or they don't have land to crack it. So we get a sort of mediocre Lotleth Giant. Do I want to... That's both of our momentary blinks. Boo. Do I want to save the Stinkweed Imp plus Scrapwork Mutt for the relic activation? Or do I want to just cast it? Or do I want to just have a bigger Lotleth Giant? They have so much life. Ugh. Blech. Blech. Wayfarer. Let's see what we find here. We could just hold up Gilded Light, not for the relic, but in case they have a Thraben Charm or something. Maybe they'll screw up if they have a Thraben Charm. I think we gotta hold these two. I think we'll just... Yeah, have to get a mediocre Lotleth Giant down. Sure, they make us exile a card. We'll get rid of a land. Very cool opponent. We find a Thriving Moor. Yeah, maybe we... Maybe we just deep analysis right now while we still can. Yeah, we could do this. Oh my god. We could get a... Okay. Well, we committed a lot to our graveyard there. Let's attack. And then we'll just get our moderately powerful Lotleth Giant down. Should be about half the opponent's life. We'll get a Holdout Settlement back. Holy moly, we get to discard to hand size. Do I just... We have plenty of Stinkweed Imps. Okay, opponent's definitely gonna crack the relic pretty soon. Ugh, destroy evil. You think I'm evil? Who says you're the good guy, huh? Okay, opponent's gonna get rid of our stuff. Yep, that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for us. They've got a lifelinker getting in every turn. for a lot. I guess we gotta just play out a stinkweed. Let's do scrap work. And then we gotta play stinkweed. And then, I don't know. We'll see if we can piece together something next turn. Core Sky Fisher. Yep. Okay. F6. Let our opponent do their thing. They find a land off of their synthesizer. Journey to Nowhere. Come on, bro. Let us have some fun. We do not want to block here. We need the red mana. Moment's Peace is interesting. So here's the thing. We could scrap work plus stinkweed into a Lotleth Giant. They probably just have a bolt or something, right? So let's go for something here. There's another Lotleth Giant. I guess we have to leave up Moment's Peace, right? I guess we have to leave up Moment's Peace plus Gilded Light for Bolt and their attackers. Kind of a bummer. And they're still up at 19, so I don't really see... We don't have any blink effects left. I'm not sure. We took out the Ephemerates. Yep, we will cast Moment's Peace. Save ourselves a turn. But for what? For what? Opponent synthesizes. They're trying to find a bolt or something. Find makeshift munitions. Well, we're for sure dead, right? Oh, and Bajuka Bug. It's heartbreaking. We're so close. I guess we could, that's where we Gilded Light, but then they can just makeshift munitions twice in response, and we lose. We're pretty dead anyway, doesn't really matter. See what we draw, Wayfinder, cool. We're dead. We're dead. I'm just clinging on to false hope. Oh, interesting. We're getting very nice mills here, if only it mattered. Black. What do we have to do? We have to hope they, like, really screw up with their makeshift munitions. We can give ourselves Shroud. We'll take one. I mean, we just lose. They can just do it in response, huh? Okay. Darn. We were close. Moment's Peace was good there against the Seeker. I do like the Deep Analysis. Gilded Light, not good there. Now we're going to see Thraben Charm, but Gilded Light's still good against Bajuka Bog, but how do we predict that, you know? We're in quite a pickle. I know. We'll hope our opponent doesn't draw any of this stuff that hurts us too badly. We could go down deep analysis. They've got so much grave hate. Maybe it's not as good. I don't know. Do we want Gilded Light or do we want Ephemerate? Gilded Light's still good against Bojuka Bog and their burn spells, and it still gave us some outs. Yeah, so maybe we try it. We were so close there. We were just sequencing things. Just like a turn off. This hand, not quite. We can't cast our millers. It's almost good. This hand, not quite. Oh wait, no. This is fine. It's not great, but on 6 we'll keep it. We're really relying on this rumble. Do we keep our sideboard cards? Put a Lotleth Giant back. Okay, so thriving more on green-black. And we gotta play a little bit fast. Zoop! I gotta be quiet. Otherwise I'll blather the whole game away. Malevolent Rumble. We gotta find more millers, I think, right? Like, do we want Holdout Settlement? I'm gonna get Wayfinder. Hopefully we find a land off the Wayfinder to play next turn. We've got some defenses up here. Yeah, against Bojuka Bog though, like when do we just like leave Gilded Light up all the time? It seems tough. Gilded Light and or Moment's Peace. Seeker of the Way is such a bummer for us. Dawnbringer Cleric is also a bummer, especially if they start blinking that. Maybe Gilded Light is just not that good and we should be like rushing our combo. We draw Lotleth Giant. Not the man I wanted to see, but he's here. See if we can find a land. We do. Tap land. Deep Analysis in our grave. Do we put this on blue then, since Deep Analysis is here? We might find Momentary Blink. We also have Gilded Light. This, I'll tell you, this Wooburg business is very complicated. There's Relic. Bummer. Opponent's going to start whittling away our graveyard. Oh, they're just going to pop it. Okay. They could have made that harder on us if they... We didn't really have anything great there. Deep Analysis, I guess, but they could have made that a lot harder on us. We really want to find Scrapwork Mutt. We will green... Let's see. This seems like a slow start for them. If they popped the Relic right away. Okay, we find a Moment's Peace, but not much else. We can't attack. We can't... I guess we can just hold up Gilded Light in case of a Bojuka Bog. But we're just kind of sitting here. We're waiting to find a way to get this, either this Lotleth Giant or this Dread Return into the graveyard. Yeah. Scrapwork Mutt seems like what we want to find. Opponent synthesizes a Lembas. Here we go again. Here we go with the Lembas business. Let's see what they scry. Opponent is scrying. I am crying. Please, bottom. Please, please, please. Oh, if I could wish for one thing. Yes! Thank you, MTG gods. Glinthawk, returning, are they going to return Synthesizer or Cleric, or what are they thinking? Lembas, okay. Interesting. We could cycle the Gilded Light. I don't want to sacrifice the spawn for that, but yeah, maybe that was the right move though. I guess we can hardcast Dread Return on the Wayfinder. Kind of awkward. Black. Black. We gotta make something happen though. But we are shields down, unfortunately. Running out of time. We find a land, that's good. We find a Stinkweed Imp, that's good. So let's hope to dodge Grave Hate for the turn. This is about when the Bojuka Bog comes down, I think. We have a Stinkweed Imp. Dredging Stinkweed Imp into Scrapwork Mutt would be cool. Would be very cool right now. There's makeshift munitions, so they can start shooting down our creatures pretty effectively. They don't have that many artifacts, but... Dawnbringer Cleric. Getting us... Okay, so if they're fighting our Dread... If they're spending their mana fighting our Dread Return, that might mean that they don't have an exile effect just yet. They're scared of the Dread Return. Yep, they get in. They make sure not to kill my Circle of the Land Druid. Okay, we do find the Scrapwork Mutt. Unfortunately, now we don't have the creatures to do what we wanted to do. Such is life. Yeah, even if we find another Scrapwork Mutt, it doesn't help us. So do we discard the Giant and Stinkweed Imp, or do we just try to find another... Do we try to draw a card and draw an untapped land? That would help us cast Stinkweed Imp. That would be cool. This is like our window, right? Oh, we do. Oh, that was a good move, Jeremy. That was a good move. Let's hope for no 1-mana Grave Hate. I don't know if there's anything they can do to stop this here. I'm scared of a burn spell, so I would attack, but I don't want to give them any chance. Yep, we'll find a land, okay. Opponent's at 9. What do they got? We can set up another Lotleth Giant next turn, I think. I'm not sure if I missed my land drop there in my haste to save time. I think we can set up another Lotleth Giant. Unfortunately, we will not have Gilded Light backup. My heart is pounding. Relic. Boo, opponent, boo. Are they going to pop it now? Yep, they do. Okay. There's the relic. We've lost 2 Dread Returns and 1 Lotleth Giant, so we've still got some stuff in hand for them. And we're attacking with a big guy, but we're running out of time here. Let's Circle of the Land Druid. Mill 4 cards, yes. There's Scrapwork Mutt. Let's get red. Dredge. We do not find what we're looking for. Do we Dread Return the Ent? I think so. Because then we can hard cast Dread Return on the Giant next turn for 4 damage. I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Okay. We will have Gilded Light back up. Running out of time, of course, as is tradition. Opponent will have a blocker. Unfortunate. So it'd be nice to draw a Miller. Or we could Dread Return on a Miller. Opponent finds a Bojuka Bog. Bummer, dude. They have not played a land this turn. Darn. So they're going to Bojuka Bog our giant. It's not over yet, but we're in a very tricky position. And they have Relic. They have Relic and Bojuka Bog. This matchup is so rough. So tough. They're gonna kill our Ent. And then Bojuka Bog. Very cool. Yeah, Gilded Light, I don't know. We might be cycling it after all that. Ay, 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 okay. There's a blink. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we just gotta hard cast. On white. Just got a F6. Opponent is kind of running out of gas, but makeshift munitions can kill anything. They find a mountain off the Synth. Yeah, makeshift munitions makes this rough. They can gain life. Oh, I think it's gotten away from us. I guess we're in hard cast Ent mode. Cast. We just want to whittle them down as much as possible. If they want to kill our imp, they can. I guess they'll exile it. Maybe that was stupid. I'm just playing fast here. Just playing fast here, man. Although we do kill their Glinthawk, which I don't hate, because maybe our Ent can sneak in some damage soon. We've got plenty of life. We're going to probably lose on time, but yeah, we'll see. F6, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yep. What do they got? They got 3 cards in hand. Makeshift munitions can do a few damage. They can create soldiers for days. They find a Lembas. Round and round it goes with this Boros Bonanza with a splash of Bojuka. They have so much grave hate. Yeah, I guess Gilded Light was a mistake. Gilded Light was a mistake. That was a dead card in our hand both games. Let's see if we can get some crazy Stinkweed Imp here. Oh, we do find... Okay. Let's attack. Can't really think very clearly, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Darn. We cannot Lotleth Giant plus plus blink, huh? We got some big attackers. I don't know if we're gonna run out of time. Opponent cracks their thing. Yep. Okay. We have Dread Return in the graveyard. We have 1, 2. I think we still have a couple Lotleth Giants in the deck. 1 or 2. Opponent's just running us out of time, though. Bummer. We have Moment's Peace for Seeker of the Way. Eventually. Lightning Bolt. So frustrating, huh? Galvanic Blast. Chill, chill. So close, so close. Being edged by these games. Opponent bolting and blasting. Yeah, we won't block. We will not block. What else they got? Sure, throw it on the pile. Opponent's up to 16 life. They're out of cards. I guess we're supposed to... We're out of time. Darn. Supposed to attack. Blink. White. Colorless. Guess we don't want to lose the mutt. Oh, I guess they can munitions, huh? They're just wasting our time. No, please. Please. I think if I didn't have to rush this, there's a chance we had a chance. Oh, we only have 3 cards in our deck. We're dead. We're dead in so many ways here. Yeah, we can Moment's Peace, we can gain life, but just doesn't cut it, huh? We'll see what they have, but... Alright, I'm done. So close. These have both been tough matchups for sure, with all the grave hate in Boros, and just Elves is tricky, but we've been close. We've been close. The blinking stuff, it's coming close. I do miss Exhume for sure, but we're going to keep it going after I take a quick break to recombobulate, and I'll see you soon. Round 3. We're down a couple games. I know, but feeling good about this one. We're going to keep excellent hand. We've got a couple millers. We've got 3 lands, essentially. We've got a blinker. We've got Stinkweed Imp. I'm feeling good, folks. Let's kick things off with the forest. And we will probably end on the end step. Is this like Cog Gates or something? Meh. Do we just get a forest, or do we want the black source? Maybe we'll get the black source. Wayfinder, we're happy to see. The superior of the way blank creatures. Find a thriving moor. We mill over a deep analysis. Very cool. All right, we're cooking. We are cooking. Let's see if we can piece something together quickly. Scrapwork Mutt would be great to find with the Stinkweed in hand. Opponent is getting the gates together. Ooh, Ephemerate. Interesting. Unfortunately, we have tap lands here. Do we want to get a black-white down, perhaps? Let's see what we draw though. If we find like a holdout settlement, we could Ephemerate this turn for extra value. We don't. We do not. But we do find Dread Return and Lotleth Giant, our old friends. So yeah, let's put this on white. Maybe this is the Ephemerate game. Oh, I meant to attack. Shoot, sorry. Opponent. Oh, jinx. Opponent's on the Wayfarer plan, except for they've got other stuff. So they take a Citadel gate. Okay, so it's like weird gates. Okay, cool. They find their land. Okay. They would almost certainly trade here, so that's no good for us. Yeah, well, we'll circle the land druid. Circle of the land druid. I still don't know what a circle of the land is, but whatever. We're going to attack for 2. Uh-huh. And this seems like a fast start, actually. We're going to dread return now. Ah, shoot. I meant to play my land. Sorry. As soon as I have a chance to play Ephemerate, all my brains go out the window. Okay. Opponent is drawing cards. I think they're just dead, though. What do they find? Tap land? Yeah, they're done. The Ephemerate victory. It's real. It's real. This is what we want to be doing. This is where this deck shines. Ho ho ho. Weren't expecting that, were you, Warlord USA? Rebound. Yeah, okay. Well, good thing this is a game of MTG and not a staring contest with all the blinking that we're doing. That was cool. That was very cool. Against the Gates. What Grave Hate do they play, huh? Not even sure. This was like a weird build of the Gates, though. Are they just trying to... Yeah, I'm not sure what they play, Grave Hate-wise. That was like a weird green-oriented build. We could try Mesmeric Fiends. Does seem like it could be a grindy matchup. You just try Mesmeric Fiends for good measure. I don't really see... What else? Ephemerate was nice there. That was very fun. I had fun anyway. Okay. Kind of a wonky land situation, but we've got millers. We'll probably find the green-black source unless we draw a land. Okay, Malevolent Rumble is interesting. Yeah, I guess we gotta find the green-black source to be safe. Since we don't even have Satyr Wayfinders. Opponents got relics. Okay, so maybe we consider the Ancient Grudge. I'm surprised they run relics since they have, you know, their Sacred Cat and whatnot, but I guess we're gonna lose this Ent to the relic. And we've got a slow start here, unfortunately. Next turn, it's Rumble into hopefully a creature if we find a land. We'll see if we draw a land as well. Yeah, bummer about this relic. Bummer, bummer, bummer. Things shall not go as smooth this time. I guess if we go to game 3, God forbid, I'll bring in the Ancient Grudges. Let me keep an eye out for what else might be good. We do have an Ephemerate in hand. We have some of the pieces of what... We've got our whole combo in hand, essentially. Okay, Rumble is nice. I think I still want to cast Rumble to the best chance of finding a land. It's not an untapped land, but we will take it. We're going to put it on white, methinks. Awkward start here. But we filled our graveyard up with some junk. We can withstand a couple relic taps. Opponent is being very inspiring. Lots of life gain. Yada, yada, yada. Double relic. That's going to be fun. Very cool, opponent. Very cool. We might want to consider casting this scrap, unearthing this scrapwork much sooner rather than later. We do not have a red source though. So this is not looking great. Mesmeric Fiend looking bad here. We got to do enough for them to pop the relics, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. I guess I could Dread return right now, but we got nothing in the graveyard. Yeah, so let's rumble in a way that we can guarantee that we can play another spell after. Okay. That's enough stuff in the graveyard that they may be forced to pop one of the relics. We'll see. We could Mesmeric Fiend, Ephemerate, or we could just play another Miller. I'm going to save the Ephemerate. Let's just see what they got. I don't want to fill up our graveyard too much. See what they got going on here. Ardent Elementalists. Yikes. So they don't have any instants or sorceries. Guess we'll take the cat since they've got two of those. I mean, maybe it's correct, but they don't have any instants or sorceries. They need to top deck something. I think I could have done like the Mesmeric Fiend, Ephemerate it in response to the trigger so the card just vanishes, but maybe that would have been correct. And then rebound it. Now that I think about it, rebound it, we could have gotten rid of like two Ardent Elementalists. They drew a Basilisk Gate. Yeah, now they need to start popping relics just to draw cards. Graveyard is reset, but we can get it back. I'm wishing I did the Ephemerate Mesmeric Fiend trick for sure. I was miscalculating on that. Cast into the fire. Sacrifice the token to send a message. Yeah, we should have definitely done the Ephemerate thing. That would have been a lot less value for them. So now they have a cat. Okay. Well, you live and learn, eh? Eh, folks? We will lose our mana. Opponents got a pretty fast clock now, especially once they start activating those gates. They can also get their cast into the fire back with their Ardent Elementalists. Major bummer for us. See if we can find an untapped land. Ugh, all this stuff is stuck in our hand, huh? We do. We will play... We could leave up an Ephemerate and do some blocking shenanigans. Find a Stinkweed Imp. We've got to get them to crack this other relic. They might with this stuff in here, but I think they'd be smart to wait and just leave up land. They can majorly pump something. They could get back cast into the fire. Yep, yep. That's gonna be good for them. I guess they just hold up Relic now. Keep attacking. I guess because they have the cast into the fire, maybe I trade. Do we Stinkweed Imp? I don't think so, because they're going to crack their Relic. We could Dread Return and try to force... Dread Return on Mesmeric Fiend and try to force the Relic. And then... it might just be dead to their gates, we'll see. They might just let this happen. They still have an Ardent Elementalist in hand and cast into the fire and one unknown. Yeah, they let it happen. It's our worst nightmare. Because they can just... I guess we have to take cast into the fire. Yeah, okay. That was a good draw when they found that. We will put this on red. And I think we got to leave back blockers, unfortunately. We'll exile a land. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. They are running a little bit out of gas, but they've got major lifelinker here. Seven, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I guess we got a block, huh? Bummer. Sacred Cat. How the hell do we get out of this? We don't. We have enough for Land Druid, Ephemerate. Which I guess is what we do. We're milling over such cool stuff. If only we could use it. Maybe there's a consideration for just not milling there. Maybe the Circle of the Land Druid's consent is important after all. Yeah, we could Dread Return something and they would just kill us. We could survive on one life, potentially. We're pretty dead here. Opponent, I think they have another Ardent Elementalist in hand, right? They can double gate and then hold up Relic. Very cool, opponent. Very cool. Oh, wait, we just died to the flyer, huh? Okay. Well, Mesmeric Fiend seemed bad there. The curious case of Jeremy mis-sideboarding again. Let's stick with the Ephemerate plan, huh? Let's try this. Is Moment's Peace worth it once they get up to their... their lifelinkers and whatnot? Set of Ephemerate. Bad hand. Acceptable but mediocre hand. We don't have millers. We do have some sideboard action. We will be shuffling our deck, so whatever we put back. So it's either, I think, Dread Return or Blink that goes back. Dread Return, Dread Return. We could Blink Scrapwork Mutts, or we could save a Dread Return hard cast for turn 4. Scrapwork Mutt, assuming we hit land drops. Yeah, and then we don't have to worry about double black as much. We'll see. Okay, game 3, down to the wire. This doesn't look like the greatest hand of all time, I'm going to be honest. But I'm going to try my best. We do have Ancient Grudge, so if our opponent draws Relic of Progenitus Tron again, we can... Yeah, okay. Guess the Ent is going bye-bye. We will get an untapped land. So we have to play a creature in order to be able to hold out settlement to cast our Ancient Grudge. Otherwise, I would just Ancient Grudge right now. Which creature is the question? If I cast Mutt, whatever I discard will be exiled. So I'm going to cast Circle of the Land Druid in the hopes that we mill over some junk, and then maybe, you know, it's early in the game. Opponent is going to need to... I doubt they're going to hold up mana for Relic this early. Maybe we can just nip that in the bud. Fortunately, Circle of the Land Druid cannot get us a land. Opponent Lunarch Veterans and tap lands. Cool. So I guess we'll exile Malevolent Rumble. Save the land in case Circle of the Land Druid can do something. I kind of want to draw land. We don't. We get back that Dread Return we put on the bottom. Moment's Peace. Yeah, I guess we just do this now. Get rid of that pesky thing. Okay. We've got a real sideboard this time. Unfortunately, missing a land drop is not so great. Opponent Satyr Wayfinders. They're going to keep a Chrysalis. No, they keep the land. Okay. Keep the Citadel Gate, which they play. Gotta hit their land drops with this gate business. Having the Ancient Grudge in the graveyard is nice. Let's see if we can hit a land off of Rumble. We do. We also hit another Ancient Grudge, Dread Return, Lotleth Giant. Which we can almost but not quite cast. I'm not sure what I want to discard to this. Do I want to get rid of the Blink? I want to keep cooking here, you know? I want to keep a Dread Return in hand, probably. Do I get rid of the other Scrapwork Mutt? And then next turn I can unearth it for the giant and then have the blink in hand. Maybe. Oh no, we draw another blink. No. We're struggling. We're on the struggle bus this game. Things are not quite coming together. Inspiring Overseer. Opponent looks to maybe not have another piece of Grave Hate so far. Hopefully. They're going to start attacking. We cannot block yet. Well, looks like we're going to get a Lotleth Giant down. And we're going to be able to get a couple lands back with the Circle of the Land Druid. We'll keep up a forest for Ancient Grudge in case we encounter another relic. Okay, I'm liking our position. This is okay. We mill. We find another Dread Return. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, we got Moment's Peace on deck in case opponent draws a lifelinker. We are going to just Dread Return. Fortunately, we did not find a second land for that second Druid to get back, but we'll take the one land. Hit opponent for 8. We're going to put this on white. In theory, we win next turn with the double blink. Fingies crossed. But a lot of stuff could go wrong. A lot of stuff could go wrong. But if opponent just gives us a moment to blink. Okay, they are ephemerating, they are finding a Manor Gate. They mill over a Thraben Charm. Ooh. A little scary. I hope they don't have a Thraben Charm in hand. They would have maybe held it up, seeing what we had in our graveyard. Yeah, they're gonna, is this another Overseer? Okay. We're in a good position. They might be just one life out of reach for our double blink, unfortunately. What do we draw? Circle of the Land Druid. Okay, so if we blink, opponent survives with 2 life. However, if we Druid and find another Lotleth Giant, then we can... No. I don't think we can win this turn. Do we blink anyway? Or do we save a blink? Very tricky, very tricky. Or do we cast the Druid? Yeah, if we blink, we're getting in 16 damage, but then we can't finish him off, so I think we need to do some milling at least. We've got Scrapwork Mutts to finish them off potentially, but they've got so many blockers, so we need to win. We need to use one of the blinks to win. Yeah, we're finding all the Scrapwork Mutts. Guess we attack. They will block, of course, of course. What removal do they have? Is it worth holding up the blink, or could we get blown out? I think we just do it now to have the blocker, and in case they have a Bajuka Bog or something. I don't think they run Bajuka Bog. Opponent's rebounding. Opponent's on the rebound. We're in an okay position. It's a little precarious. Opponent mills over. They find no lands. Not bad, not bad. What do they have? They have 6 very scary cards in their hand. They have a lot of stuff that could ruin our day. They see the momentary blink in the graveyard, so they know they're dead on board right now without the stuff in my hand. We did it! Blink rules! Okay. Well, that was a very blinky matchup, so glad we got to showcase what the deck is supposed to do with Ephemerate and Blink. Getting that early Lotleth Giant down and getting it to survive. Cool. Well, that's a little victory I needed to keep me going, huh? Let's see if we can make some more magic in match 4. We are on the play. Oh, and we have a very nice hand. Wow. Things are looking up for me. Things are looking up for us. Smile with me. Smile at this hand. We've got our little buddies to help us get through our deck. We've got BFFs, Scrapwork Mutt, and Stinkweed Imp. These two are always hanging out together. And then there's a rumble in the distance. Okay, we're going to kick things off with a tap land. In this case, I'm going to go black-red because we've got the Scrapwork Mutt on deck. If we had a blink effect in hand, I would have gone white, but we'll probably find a holdout settlement amongst all of this stuff. Ooh, Gruul. Okay. Gruul Guildgate. Something interesting happening over here. Doesn't look like Ponza. Sometimes they run one tap land, but I don't think they run they don't run that one. We'll see. But you know the drill, folks. Satyr Wayfinder. Where do we put that Lotleth Giant? I know we buried him around here somewhere. Okay. All according to plan. We find a survivor's encampment. You telling me this guy ran all the way out to the desert from the forest? Okay, survivor's encampment. So next turn we can double creature, or we can Malevolent Rumble plus creature. Ooh, what the heck is going on here? Naya Hushblade. Okay. Opponent is on something spicy. So they're going to have a 3/3 Shroud in a second. Is this like an enchantment deck? Okay. Very interesting, very interesting. So I guess we rumble first. And then we'll decide if we want to Scrapwork or Wayfarer. We find the Lotleth Giant. Okay, so we can Dread Return next turn. Let's hope it's enough. I'm afraid they're going to have like an Armadillo Cloak or something. That's what this smells like. Something lifelinky to make us very sad. Since we've got the Lotleth Giant ready to go, let's just... And we've got plenty of lands. Let's just mill as many cards as we can here. Yep. Fill her up. And we got the blink too. Interesting. And I'm going to attack. Our opponent can trade if they want. I doubt they want to because I fear they have bigger plans with the Hushblade. Hopefully I haven't had the stack like too out of view for everyone the whole league. Just realized that was down there. We've got a nice graveyard. I'm not anticipating grave hate from this deck. Opponent not finding what they're looking for. So I'm feeling great about what we have going on here. Yeah, this is very good. We cannot quite blink and Lotleth Giant, but we can come close. I think we attack with everything. We've got all the colored mana we need. I don't think opponent wants to trade. Even if they do, we can play 2 creatures. Okay, so we're going to Scrapwork Mutt. Yep, let's just fill up our graveyard as much as possible. Nothing can stop us now. Oh yeah. Ooh, another Dread Return, another Stinkweed Imp. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. What is that? Emperor's New Groove line? Oh yeah, it's all coming together. All right, the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Okay, sorry, I'm just excited, you guys. I'm just excited that we're actually casting a Dread Return, an unimpeded Dread Return. We're already at 11 creatures. Very, very juicy. Opponent's going to need to do a lot to get out of this. They've got a big task ahead of them. Okay, so we take the game, but what do they have? We don't know what we're up against. I'm feeling I'm feeling Relic of Progenitus vibes from this deck. I feel like they intend to go fast, so let's get rid of the Deep Analysis. We'll shave an Ephemerate. Maybe we want some... I feel like they're going to have like lifelink or something. Like maybe we want Moment's Peace instead of Gnaw to the Bone. They seem like they're trying to do some funky combat. Is it some kind of like weird multicolor Bogles? Worse Bogles? Yeah, I don't know. We might have to amend the sideboard once we see what's going on. But maybe we can put a couple Gnaws in just for good measure. We'll go down a land. And a Lotleth Giant. I probably should be shaving the Ephemerates, but we'll try it like that. 29 creatures. It's getting a little skimpy on the creatures, but this hand is weird because we don't know for sure. Like Ancient Grudge might be just a dead card. Scrapwork Mutt plus Stinkweed is good, but where's the follow-up, you know? So we would have to draw something. Still, Stinkweed might not be bad against what they've got going on. They've got a Shroud creature. We've got our lands. We'll draw our millers, right? We'll try it. We're going to try this hand. I might regret it. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is like a gate... Shroud, Gate, multicolor Gate type of deck. I really don't know what we're up against, so this makes it tricky. There's Zeta Wayfinder. I knew he'd be there for us. Okay, so we're going to play this on black-red. Very cool. So the mana base is a little slow sometimes. Like we have to deal with a lot of tap lands, but it's nice that we've almost always had access to the colors we need at all times. So that's pretty impressive for a 5-color deck. The holdout settlements and the survivors encampments really smooth things over, and the ability to find them off of the wayfinders. Yeah, I see. It's like a Burning Tree Emissary. Go wide kind of deck. They have like Bushwhackers probably. I see what you got going on, opponent. Very cool. Respect. Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. That's a lot of damage. Cool. Okay, so what does that mean for us? That means we must mill. We must mill our little hearts out. Ancient Grudge, still a dead card. Oh, we don't find a land. That's a bummer. Yeah, Ancient Grudge, still a dead card. We wouldn't mind reanimating a Generous Ent against what they've got going on. We're gonna take some hits. So it seems like maybe we want to go up on the Gnaws or the Moment's Pieces. Ooh, Sandstorm Eidolon. What does that do? Sacrifice this creature. Target creature can't block this turn. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, you may return this card. Ooh, that's cool. Cool deck. I like the opponent's creativity factor here. And I'm kind of shaking in my boots. We were on the draw this game, so that's a bummer for us. If we lose this game, I at least hope to see what Grave Hate they're on. Ooh, 7 damage. We've got like 2 turns to figure out our stuff. Rumble. If we find an untapped land, we can double creature here. We do find the holdout settlement. We're getting a Scrapwork Mutt in the graveyard. Okay. So then we will Scrapwork Mutt. Get rid of Stinkweed Imp. See what we find. We find Dread Return and another Stinkweed Imp. We find Gnaw to the Bone. Okay. 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 So we want to... Okay. We have a plan here. Now I don't want to see the opponent's Grave Hate. Keep it in the deck, opponent. I'm assuming they have Bushwhackers? Potentially. We will probably be casting the Gnaw to the Bone next turn and shoring up our lands. We could also go the Stinkweed Imp route. Like we could try to block and then Stinkweed Imp. Let's try to block. Let's just trade with the Scrapwork Mutt. Scrapwork Mutt can always come back. Let's see what they have. No follow-up. They have 3 cards in hand. We will dredge. Ooh, we do not find our Lotleth Giant. We have 3 Dread Returns in the graveyard. That's quite a few. We will be playing a tap land. Opponent doesn't have a lot of damage out here. Have they blown their payload already? Like I could Gnaw for 16 right now, or I could be greedy and Stinkweed Imp, and they're only doing 4 damage. I mean, maybe it's the right move to... No, I'm gonna be a little greedy. I'm gonna put this one on blue since we have Momentary Blink, and I'll get in for 1. I don't know what the opponent could have something tricky. Let's see if they can do 9 damage, though. They might just have... I wonder if they just have burn spells. I don't know. Future Jeremy, I'm sorry if I didn't play Gnaw to the Bone and I needed to. They're paying costs. I can't watch. Maybe I should have, just to be safe. In case they have a Grave Hate. I'm kind of regretting my actions, folks. It's just, since we traded last turn and they don't have much going on, but they might be charging up another big drop. Okay, no. Oh, cool. They have Sneaky Snacker. Okay. I think we survived this turn. So unfortunately, Sneaky Snacker is not cast, so they don't get their Sandstorm Eidolon, but what a cool card. It's a little expensive to pay 4 mana and then be able to make a creature not block this turn. I'm assuming they're not going to attack. They are. All right. All right, opponent. They're thinking about it. I will definitely block, because then we can keep milling and milling and milling. Then we've got a huge knot to the bone if we want. Yeah, they're not going to attack. Interesting. Well, we still have not found... We still have not found our Lotleth Giant. Here's the thing, though. If we Scrapwork Mutt and we do find Lotleth Giant, then we can blink right away, which could be a win if we find 2 more creatures. But if we don't, we might die. So do we gnaw this turn to be safe? Or do we go for the big blink play? We didn't play this to be cowards, right? We came here for big ball plays. No, we don't find it. Okay. Very cool, Jeremy. Very cool. We will attack with that guy. Well, let's hope we don't regret that. We've got a lot of blockers in any case, so it's not like we're out of luck. Do we, like, we could have done it again. Do we circle the Land Druid to try and find him? What else are we doing with our mana, you know? Green. Because if we find because if we could sacrifice the Scrapwork Mutt while we have it, sure. And then we have a clear pathway to a blink. We'd even keep the Stinkweed Imp alive here. We do find the Lotleth Giant. Okay. Not unhappy about this. So we will Lotleth Giant. We will bring back Lotleth Giant. And then we'll be able to hit our land drop too, because we can, we'll get a Survivor's Encampment. Just get an untapped land. We get our Giant. Just get a Giant down in case they draw some Grave Hate. We can even Ancient Grudge with the Survivor's Encampment. Yeah, we're in good shape here. I don't know. Opponent's deck could do something crazy, because I really don't know what their big payoff is, but I think we're in okay shape. We've got 2 formidable blockers. We can Ancient Grudge something. If Lotleth Giant survives, there might be a way, even if they exile our graveyard, there might be a way to get a couple. We just need a couple creatures in our graveyard to blink it, so we'll see. Opponent's having a think. Or maybe they'll kill one of my creatures and play a Bushwhacker and kill me. I guess we could die to Bushwhacker if they have like removal spell plus Bushwhacker. We might die. Something to that effect. What do I call this deck for the YouTube description? No idea. I like big respect to any creative snacker deck. They have not been able to do anything with this Sandstorm Eidolon. They're thinking, they're doing some big math. So, okay, Hordling Outburst. Okay. Do they have land Bushwhacker? That would be pretty terrifying. They don't. Yeah, they're done. Cool. Cool. Well, unless they have a 1-mana red removal spell that can kill my giant. We will do white. Blink to victory. Yeah, cool. Well, I don't know what that was, but I liked it. I like the Naya Hushblade. Yeah, interesting. On to the final round. Final boss battle. Murillo Umbra. This hand we cannot keep. Nope. Need a second source, and I would have kept it if we had like a forest in here or a holdout settlement, but we don't. Ooh, whoa, this looks very different. By the way, check out my new forests. These Innistrad remastered lands are sick. This is cool. I'm gonna keep that. We only got 1 miller, but meh. Hi, friend. Good luck, have fun. Opponent is polite alert. Very nice. Nice for a final match. What do we put back? Do we put back probably a forest? Because we've got a lot of land sources here. We'll keep the blinks. Ooh, okay, madness. Cool. Let's do it. Wishing I had the Knot to the Bone in the main. I know a lot of Dredge decks do that. For sure, that's going to be tough. They also run a Bajuka Bog, usually. If it's the version with Chain Lightning, yeah. If they're not playing the artifact lands, they probably have Bajuka Bog, so gotta watch out for that. They're plotting against us. They're gonna rob my wagon. Okay. Let's get... What do you think, folks? Do we get the... Let's get the black source just in case. There's a consideration for untapped land because we've got our colors, but this lets us maybe cast a Dread Return in the future. Well, maybe we should have got an untapped source so we could like Rumble plus Ephemerate next turn. Well, you live and you learn. We've still got other looks at untapped lands. We have Wayfarer. Maybe we'll find an untapped land off the Rumble. It's not over yet, folks. Let's see. Let's see what we get. We do find the Survivor's Encampment, so that's cool. That will allow us to potentially Ephemerate next turn. Wouldn't it be great if they used a burn spell and I ephemerated? But we could also get blown out. All these blink effects, if they kill my thing in response, I become very sad. Okay, opponent is enacting their plot. Let's see what they discard. Something to madness. Okay, they get their sneaky snacker. Sure. Sneaky snacker is a go. They're gonna faithlessly loot. Huh, I wonder if they're digging for lands. It's a lot of discarding. They're thinking about it. Okay, they get their imp. Very cool. They discard a highway robbery. I wonder if they have a lot of discard effects and not as many cards to madness. Interesting that they're running 2 highway robberies. I thought these decks usually run like 3 or the full set of grab the prize and then one highway robbery, but none of my business. Okay, what are we doing this turn? We could rumble Druid. Let's see what we hit off the rumble. We could rumble Druid or rumble Ephemerate, hold up Ephemerate. I guess we just get more millers, right? I would take the mutt if we had a stinkweed. We don't. Yeah, I think we just gotta keep playing the millers. If I could like block an Ephemerate, but they've got flying, so. Do we, let's do this guy. Dogs always first. I could do Circle the Land Druid if I want to dig deeper, but it'd be nice to find another land. What do we got going on in here? We found a Deep Analysis. We'll probably be citing that out. If we could find a Dread Return in our graveyard, then we could Scrapwork Mutt, discard the Lotleth Giant, and then start blinking the Lotleth Giant. We've probably got about 2 turns to live, though. Opponent is cooking now. Yeah, they're going for it. We're down to 8. Oh dear. Yeah, definitely wishing we had the Gnaw to the Bone main. So what do we do? We could Scrapwork Mutt, discard Lotleth Giant, and hope to find an untapped land. And then what? And then Circle the Land Druid, find a Dread Return, return it, and then we probably just die. Casting a Stinkweed Imp could be good, but I don't see how we can find that. That might be our best move. Or we could Circle the Land Druid. Yeah, we'd want to hit an untapped land. We could Circle the Land Druid and hit Lotleth Giant plus Dread Return. Let me get my geometric calculator to figure out which one is more likely. Hitting an untapped land or hitting both of those cards. I mean, there's no way our opponent doesn't have 4 points of damage in their hand. We really need an untapped land. But, I mean, even if we get the Lotleth Giant off this turn, yeah, darn. If we had a Dread Return in the graveyard, we might be able to steal something, but I don't see how we do it. Find Ephemerate. That's not what we wanted. Guess we leave. On the off chance that our opponent does not have... On the off chance that our opponent's hand is all lands, we can maybe make something happen, but I think we're dead here. Pretty dead. All right. What's it going to be? Lightning Bolt? Galvanic Blast? No, they don't have Galvanic Blast. Okay. It has to be Bolt. Yeah. Okay. Bummer. Okay. Well, we are playing a version without the Gnaws, so Definitely Deep Analysis is gone. They run Nile Spellbomb. Do we want to try Gilded Light against Nile Spellbomb? I don't know. Let's try it. We really just want to find Gnaw to the Bone. Just mill, 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 Gnaw to the Bone. We're on the play. Ephemerate is the way to a fast victory, so I don't know, like maybe there's a consideration, maybe like Ephemerate, a couple Ephemerates. Moment's Peace might be overkill because sometimes they have a creature heavy draw, but then sometimes they have just like a burn spell kind of draw. And so Moment's Peace might be dead in that case. It's also 3 mana to prevent like what, 4 or 6 damage at a time versus Gnaw to the Bone is 3 mana to maybe gain like 16 life or something. So I think Gnaw to the Bone has a much higher ceiling in this matchup because their damage is so split between combat damage and spells. I'm assuming they're bringing in Nile Spellbomb. They also have Bajuka Bog, so Gilded Light could be good against that. It's hard to hold up though. I don't know. Let's just see whenever the match starts. Whatever version of the deck I end up with. Okay. This hand is a no-go. Oh, deck, don't do this to us. We got to go to 5. It's because we got rid of that land. I guess we got to keep this on 5 and... Yeah. Boo. Very sad. I think I got to keep this, though. Surely it's not correct to go to 4. Very bad. Well, let's get green. We have 4 Ents we could draw and 13 other lands, so 17 cards, just under a third of our deck. Very bad. No turn 1 play from the opponent. That's cool. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. Bummer. Maybe I'm supposed to go to 4. This deck mulls pretty well, but this is the 4 Ents, but none of the 4 Trolls of Khazad-dûm. Yeah, opponent, Carnarium. Cool. Okay. We find an Ent. Could be worse. Now it's just like we were on the draw instead. I guess we get our dual land. Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Opponent, is this grab the prize, sneaky snacker? Say psych right now. Say psych right now. Can't watch. Grab the prize, Kitchen Imp with Madness. Cool. Makes sense. That hurts. Okay. Well, if we can hit a land and find Gnaw to the Bone and mill over a lot of creatures, that would be cool. We do hit the land, but not all of that other stuff I said. Darn, if we hit Gnaw to the Bone there, maybe we could squeak something out. I have a feeling we're just dead in 2 turns, though. If we didn't stumble on that land, we'd be... But of course we were going to stumble on the land. We're playing like no lands in the deck. You see, I mean, most versions of Dredge play 14. The standard stock Dredge list plays 14 lands, but then you have the 8 cyclers. This Ephemerate list, you're losing 4 of the cyclers, so I was finding this happening sometimes without the trolls. You get these weird draws, which is why I went up to 15 lands. I think it helps, but then I sided out a land. But sometimes 14 is enough. So maybe I just needed to mulligan more aggressively. Oh, another grab the prize. Into Sneaky Snacker. And then what, a Vampire's Kiss? Oh, that hurts. Okay, well, I guess we're dead. We could draw Gnaw to the Bone. We don't. Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions. So our hope now is that opponent has no burn spells or damage spells in their hand, and that we mill over a Gnaw to the Bone right now. Right now. Then we don't. We don't. Gnaw to the Bone is nowhere to be found. Oh. Hi. Hi, YouTube. Sorry, just one content creator to another kind of things. That's nice of him to give me a shout out before he ends my whole life. Surely you don't have a bolt. Here comes Alms. No! GG, friend. All right, good game. Good game. Ah, well, I wish we could have gone out on a higher note, but that was a fun league. Yeah, interesting version of the deck. There have been a few 5-0 finishes with various things. That makes me wish that I had the Gnaw to the Bone in the main, for sure. There is a version that looks like this. That Marza Boy was running. So you have a couple Gnaw to the Bone, and then you can run, I don't know, another Ancient Grudge and another Mesmeric Fiend or something. Maybe this would have been good. We didn't face that much aggro this... wait, why won't Mesmeric Fiend go away? We didn't face that much aggro. Okay, Mesmeric Fiend just wants to hang out with us. Sure. Oh, there he goes. Okay, I'm just going to go sit next to him. But yeah... Definitely, I could see the argument for Gnaw to the Bone in the main, given that last match. The deck is cool. You can see in a couple of those matches how we have a really explosive start and you have Ephemerate in the right place, which is why I like to run, more Ephemerates, because if it's not in your opening hand in your first couple draws, you're basically never going to see Ephemerate. Momentary Blink has flashback, but it's quite slow. It's really hard to Dread Return Lotleth Giant and Momentary Blink in the same turn, because usually you're like casting a couple creatures just to get the Dread Return off. But yeah, it's a cool deck. It's more explosive, but yeah, I think at the cost of becoming a little more fragile. And you don't have the Exhume, so it's a little less stable, I guess. But the mana base works pretty well as long as you draw lands. I think the other version I played a couple weeks ago with the Trolls and the Exhumes and just a couple momentary blinks rather than the Ephemerate and all of this stuff is probably a little more stable. But there's lots of ways to spice up your dredge these days, especially, Holdout Settlement and Survivor's Encampment. Very consistent. Like no one really wants to kill these creatures very often. So have at it with 5-color goodness with Dredge. There's a lot you can do these days. So yeah, we'll see what else we can play on this channel. But thanks everyone for watching. That was a fun one. Even though it was a little bit of a struggle. So yeah, I appreciate you, and thanks Mana Birds for letting me know that you were live there at the end. That was nice to meet another content creator in the wild. So thank you if you're out there, and have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. Have a good one.